Hello, everybody. My name is Christopher Saunders, and this is the Connecticut Sports Talent Show, where we talk all things talents in Connecticut. And on tonight's show, I'm pleased to have a returning guest, a freshman at Hofstra. And somehow I was able to kind of reel her back in, Gianna Iaquinto. Gianna, it's great to be able to have you on, and thanks so much for being able to come back on the podcast.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
First and foremost, I have to say, it's been a while. I haven't talked to you since the end of the softball season, and obviously, trying to catch up with you and everything. How was the summer leading up to you moving to Hofstra? How was that?
It was really good. I over the winter last year, I worked really hard to prepare for high school ball season, and I think I kind of carried that over into my travel season with TLI. I did really good. My batting average was really high. I played shortstop a lot with my club team, so it was really good. The summer, and I was like, you know what, the new coach here hadn't seen me play, so I did well in front of her, I think, and it was great. I enjoyed it.
Now, with you playing in the summer, I mean, obviously, you know, with the summer, with the spring season ending, as far as you being able to play softball in high school and then leading up to your freshman year, was there any point during that summer where, not to say that you were looking forward to getting to school, but it was like half of you was like, I'm excited to be playing in the summer, but then the other half is, I can't wait to go to school because this is a new opportunity for me.
Right. You see, I loved TLI, but I was like, I can't wait for college ball. Like I've dreamed about this since I was little, and now it's like it's very real. And I was like, I can't wait for college ball. I can't wait for the competition. We're gonna be going against some of the best schools in the country that I've grown up watching. So it's really cool.
Were you able to, during that time during the summer, have conversations with any of the incoming freshmen or any upperclassmen at Hofstra by any chance?
Yeah, our the girls on our team are great. It's really a family here. I had a lot of seniors actually reach out to me, ask like how the summer was going. I actually ran into two of them at a tournament, which was really cool. They were coaching a team, and I was like, "Hey," that was like I knew them, but I didn't know them that well, and it was really nice that they like kind of took us under their wing right away and like reached out to us in the summer. So we were very comfortable coming in. It was awesome.
Do they know that you hit about 700 in high school? They
I
know
don't know.
that?
I'm sure.
I'm telling you, I really do. And I told you this when I first had you on. There's not a lot of players that have such, not just a smooth swing, but the way that you control the barrel. And I don't see that going away in college.
Thank you.
I see that improving more. And I don't know how you, I mean, if you hit 1,000, I wouldn't be shocked. Seriously.
Thank you.
And it's one of those attributes that I feel like, obviously, I watched, I watch a lot of college baseball. College softball has been growing on me, and I kind of see like how much, and not to say obviously it's two different games, but the game of softball is so unique, and especially in college, and obviously you'll see it. It's a pretty fun game, and I broadcast a lot of games.
Yeah.
It's fun to be able to watch and call.
Yes. Yes. It's definitely a step up. It's definitely a lot faster. Like when we first started practicing, it was like bang, 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 bang. And not that I wasn't used to moving at a fast pace, but it was like times 10. So it took a little getting used to initially, but it just the game moves so much faster. It's fun. I love it.
Now, take me into the practices because I kind of want to, you mentioned that the speed, and obviously in high school, when you're a freshman, the game is going to speed up. And then over time with the reps, it slows down. For you, first day, like you said, was it like everything was going like 1,000 miles an hour?
Let me think. That was a while ago. I don't think the first day was super fast. We didn't have all of our coaches at the time. We only had our head coach. They were going through a hiring process. So like kudos to my coach. She like kind of did it all on her own the first like I want to say 2 weeks before she had any assistance. So we weren't going rapid, and I think she understood like, hey, this is a big transition. This is new. Like she's a new coach. So we went, I think, a little slow at first, but once we had our full coaching staff, we got right into it and we went full on hardcore. It's hard being one person taking on 22 girls on the team. At the time, I think we had 23 or 24.
Oh,
So it was
wow.
a lot, yeah.
Now, for you individually, leading up to the practice, was there anything that, because obviously you're trying to get acclimated to classes, you're trying to get in a routine as
Right.
athletes, and as a former athlete, myself playing in college and such, routine was huge, making sure you ate at a certain time, studied at a certain time, did homework, yada, 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 make sure you had time to be able to work out and such. Have you been able, and I'm sure you have, because, on and off the field, You're smart. Not worried about you. Have you rather been able to get yourself a structured routine where now you feel comfortable?
Yes. For a while, I kind of like I had my class schedule on my phone, so that's kind of what I went off of. And then before the week starts every week, every Sunday, our coaches will send out the week schedule or practice plan before practice that day. So initially, I was kind of just going off of all that. And while I was getting by, I was like, I don't feel like I'm structured enough. So what I do is actually have a whiteboard right here. And before the night before every day, I'll write down everything out by the hour or by the time. So I'll be like 6:30 to 7:30 lifts, then 8 to 12:45 I have classes. And it has helped. Like during the first semester, I started doing that about halfway through. It helped tremendously. Like my grades were good, but they shot up even more. It's just being organized and being able to time manage. Like if I wanted to take a nap during the day, because there's a lot going on and sometimes I need my sleep. I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna nap from this time to this time. And then I'm waking up and I gotta do homework. So just it helped a lot. Like the structure itself just kept me organized and it helped my grades. It helped me with sleep. It helped with everything.
And sleep is important. I think a lot of,
Yeah.
people kind of, and I'm myself am guilty of that because the mind's always racing and sometimes you can't sleep. But sometimes like, and I've learned, if you're going to go to bed, like, let's say, you go to bed at 10 o'clock, at about 9 o'clock, phone goes down. You don't look at it. You
Right.
want to kind of slow the brain down. And I know for you, obviously with everything going on and practice and school and everything else, I want to make sure you keep in contact with family and such. Was it difficult to, I don't want to say get away from the phone and all that, but just kind of slow the brain down a little bit as the night would come about?
Um, Honestly, I want to yes and no. We had the first semester, all freshmen have to do study hall, and then if you hit a certain GPA, I think it's like 3.0 or 3.2, you can get out of study hall your second semester. But our study hall hours were from like 9 in the morning till 9 at night most days. And it's hard because, the only time at the during the fall that we could get study hall in was late at night. So I'd be there until 9 o'clock. I'd get back here around like 9:15, 9:30. Then I do maybe a little more work or just kind of like relax, get ready for bed. So during that, it was hard. And like the study hall, although it helped, it was stressful because I needed 8 hours a week. And on top of practice and everything else, it's like, when am I going to do this? I figured it out. But yeah, so winding down once I came back, I was like, honestly, I couldn't wait for bed. So I was like, everything's going away. I'm going to sleep. Got to get up early tomorrow. And one thing I value personally is like I said, sleep. If I know I'm getting like 5 hours of sleep that night, I freak out. So I really try to get at least seven a night, especially when we have to get up really early for lifts, because I know throughout the day, like it's a really long day. My practices are long. I want to be able to perform well in practice and in class. So like I know like sleep is vital. It's very important.
And another thing too, as well, with the injury factor, if you're not sleeping, that increases. I mean, I can't tell you how
Oh yeah.
many things that I have read, just in terms of like the NFL. The NFL season just ended, and they're big into making sure the you know nutrition factor, being able to get sleep and being able to, because if they don't get that, the hamstrings, pulls,
Yeah.
tight,
Yeah.
like all of that creeps up.
Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
it,
Especially like you
yep.
gotta hydrate too. And I'm not a big, I'll admit, I'm not a big water person. I just like, I don't know if I forget to drink it or it's just like whatever. But I like really didn't realize how important drinking water was until I got here. And I know that sounds like stupid, but it's like you really have to drink because if you don't, you're not gonna make it through the day and your muscles are shot. So it's
I
very
couldn't agree with
important.
you. 100%
Yeah.
agree with you on that one. Now I want to go into the practice itself because I'm sure you've had some live, and what I'm talking about is facing live pitching. I
Yes.
love during practice when because I pitched all the way through college. Facing my opposing teammates was so much fun because
Yeah.
some of them, because I don't know if you remember, I threw low three quarters to sidearm. So obviously, because I was a lefty, everything would tail in. And I
Right.
had one kid who I won't say his name. He's from New York, so if he ever watches this, he'll know. And he hated facing me because every single time, I don't know if it's because I just maybe didn't like him, but I really did like him. But just in the moment, everything would tail in, would skin the jersey a little bit. He'd be like, "Nope, I'm done. You take it off." And for you, how take me into that first live facing whoever you face? Just take me into that. How was that?
Um, it was definitely I was definitely nervous, which during the like my high school season and during the summer season, I really focused on my mentality at the plate, like not getting nervous, I know like what I'm going to do, having a plan, an approach. And then I get here and I'm like, all right, these pitchers are really good. They're fast. Like, so I was definitely a little nervous the first few times, but I put the bat on the ball well, I think. We did a lot of scrimmaging before our fall games, before our fall scrimmages, like scrimmages against our own teammates. And I was definitely nervous. The first couple times I definitely struggled. It's a lot faster. The revolutions are a lot tighter on the ball, the spin. So it's definitely a big change. It was definitely an adjustment, but we worked on it all winter. Sometimes I had good days, sometimes I had bad days, it happens, but it's really about your mentality. And it was awesome. Like our pitchers, I like some of our pitchers are awesome. Like they're so good. So going against them, like I'm going against some of the best level pitching I can see. So I know like I'm going to be ready for the season. So it was awesome.
Those adjustments, and I think obviously not to say you never struggled as you got to this level, but just looking at the stats, you probably didn't struggle that much. But I think for you to understand that the struggles will happen. I mean,
Yeah.
let's be honest. College pitchers, your college teammates, the pitchers, it's a little bit different than high school. A little different, a little bit faster, like you said. And I think for you to be able to understand that and say, hey, I'm going to struggle, but hey, each day is a new day. If I have a bad week, okay, I have a bad week, whatever. I think you learning and understanding what you can and can't do at that time is huge. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And initially, I was very hard on myself. And my coaches even talked about this with me, like, you gotta lighten up. And I'm like, you're right. It's definitely a growing and a learning process. Like I said, initially I was very hard on me and I would get down on myself when I wasn't doing well. But each day I feel like I've learned, okay, like, what happened. You can't change it if you messed up. So move on, feed off of what you did well. And that's kind of how I've grown. And I'm just like, you know what? You're going to make mistakes. And that's one thing my coach always says to us, whether it's defense or offense, you are going to make mistakes. Embrace it. Don't be upset, but learn from it. She's like, it's totally okay. She's like, I'm happy you guys are making mistakes. And to hear that from a coach, I feel like is not something you hear very often. So it was awesome being able to hear that, like, it's okay to mess up. You're going to learn from it. You can't learn without the mistake. So
I kind of wish she was my coach because my coach
she's
was a
great. I
little
love
bit
her.
different. I like that. And that's great. You know what? That's fantastic because then the troops start to really bond. I don't personally know your coach, but he or she, apologize, don't know who, is
Coach
it
Clark, just being
Coach
well,
Clark?
yeah.
Okay, thank you. So I'm glad we got that figured out. So I apologize if she's watching this. So for her to be able to kind of build that relationship early only bodes well because there will be struggles during the season, but then she can go to those certain points during the off season, during preseason, during live, and say, "Hey, remember when you did this back on November 10th? You
Right.
struck out, and I gave you that conversation." It's huge because coaches, just like players, they have memories that they don't forget. They don't.
Yeah. And it takes the pressure off of the player too. Like it's a lot of pressure playing at this level. It's a lot of pressure to perform well, to do well for your team. Like so the fact that she says that in practice, I feel like takes a lot of that off and it helps us get better. Like without us even realizing it. Because we don't feel pressure and then we start doing things the way we naturally would. And it grows from there. So we've come a long way. Like and it's because of her.
Now, you talked about as far as the revolutions kind of being a little bit of an adjustment for you coming from the high school and summer circuit to obviously your freshman year at Hofstra. Now, in my time talking with various players, they've talked about from going from high school to college, no matter the level, they said obviously the speed was one, but they said, as you mentioned, the revolutions, the spin. I know in baseball, obviously the breaking ball and the changeup are huge because it's hard to pick it up. And obviously the break is going to be different. For you, it's a little bit different because there isn't really a breaking ball. It's more of the rise ball, the drop ball. You could probably explain more into that. Was that kind of the adjustment as well, trying to get the off speed stuff timed a little bit?
Yeah, we spent a lot of the was it yeah, a lot of the winter working on change-ups. We spent a lot of the fall working on change-ups.
Mm-hmm.
The change-ups in college are a lot better than what they are before that. Pitchers know how to do it.
Mhm.
The screwball and curves are also usually very tight. So working on that, rise and drop. We have actually the hack attack machine, which we'll set up every practice and we'll work on certain pitches. Like today, we worked on a lot of screw and curve ball because the team that we're going against Friday, they throw a lot of screw and curve. So yeah, it's definitely a lot tighter and it's harder to see out of the hand. We focused on physically seeing the snap or the release so that it's easier to pick up because the pitch won't break until like a
Mhm.
few feet before the plate, if not at the plate. So it's hard to recognize. But if you see the hand very well, it's easier to see and pick up the pitch.
Softball pitchers in the circle that throw, like you said, the screw and the curve, is that considered? I don't want to, be rude, but are they considered like junk ball pitchers because they're not throwing the rise or no?
No, 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 no.
Okay, okay,
Screw and curve are very good. The screw will come inside on a righty. It
okay.
like will break and kind of tail in, and then the curve will tail out. So
Okay. See, I'm learning something because in
yeah,
baseball, typically sinker two seam like me, I was considered a junk ball pitcher. So that's why I was
yeah,
asking. I didn't know if you only had off speed stuff. Because in baseball, if you only have off speed stuff, you're a junk ball pitcher basically.
yeah.
But in
No,
softball, it sounds like it's a little bit different.
yeah, those are like the normal speed of which they would throw. The changeup is
Yeah.
obviously off speed. The rise and the drop are not meant to be strikes. Curve and change usually are, or to get the batter to swing and like mess up on it. Fastball is obviously fastball, but yeah, the rise and the drop are not meant to be strikes, but majority of the time they will get the hitter. I hate rise
Yep.
balls.
Yep.
Hopefully, none of my opponents are watching this. Um, but yeah, so
I was just about to say the rise ball, just like in baseball, where the rising they call it is rise ball and softball. The riser in baseball, as far as it goes up in the zone, because and we talked about this when I had you on before, in our first conversation, because of launch angle, everybody dropping and trying to lift the ball, it leaves the top part of the zone wide open, and hitters are trying to basically hit the ball out, and that leaves that entire upper part of the zone wide open for strikes and or strikeouts.
right. Um, the rise ball, it's really about recognition, like seeing it, because it looks like a fat meatball coming in, and then once it gets to the front of the plate, the box, it's like, oh no, I shouldn't have swung at this.
Yep.
Um, a lot of like what I try to do if I swing, I obviously try to lay off of it, but if I swing, I'll try to like foul it off. Um, because like at that point it's like you're probably not going to square up a rise ball. If you do, that's great, awesome. But yeah, for me, I try to foul it off most of the time, or I try to see it and not swing at it. But
Now you talked about how on Friday you're facing your first team, and I caught you at a good time because you'll be traveling to Florida. Am I right?
yes,
And
we're in
that's
the Leesburg tournament. It's
okay.
called the Spring Games.
So, for people who may not know, and I obviously don't, describe what is this?
So it's not opening weekend. I think we were supposed to play an opening weekend, but we got added into like a wrong tournament. I could totally be lying. I don't remember. But it's really exciting. We're leaving tomorrow. We're flying down to Orlando. And then we're playing Fridays 2 games, Saturday I believe is 2 games, and I believe Sunday is two. Again, I could be wrong. I don't have our schedule memorized. Um, but yeah, it's exciting. We're playing against some really good teams. And then the following weekend, we're actually playing a 5 game series at Florida State against Florida State and Indiana. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm really excited.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah,
Wasn't Florida State in the College World Series like last year?
yeah, they're ranked sixth in the country right now.
Oh yeah,
I
that's
think I think we could hold our own with them though. I'm excited. Yeah,
who was
I'm
it? There
really expecting
was
a lot.
wasn't there a blonde pitcher who threw like a perfect game in the World Series, right? Or was it a no hitter?
Uh, I
She
don't
she was
remember.
very good. I just maybe it was 2 years ago, but I remember
Yeah,
she dominated, and I was like, "What am I
yeah.
watching?" Because
I
every
believe
nobody could
Florida
catch
State
her.
has a pitcher that everybody talks about. I don't
Yeah.
remember, but yeah, they're
So you know
good.
what that means. You just are just gonna have to get a hit. You're just gonna have to get a hit
Yeah,
on, right?
yeah, I'm excited. I'm ready to embrace the challenge. I think we're gonna do very well. We've been practicing a lot. We've been working really, really hard, and
Mhm.
all of our girls have been putting in time on their own too, outside of practice, which is tremendous. So I really think we're gonna give them a run for their money, if not take it. So
Hey, you know what? Prove it be on the
Yeah.
field, do what you got to do.
Yeah.
You know, but Gianna, it's great to be able to have you on. I really do appreciate it.
Well,
Really
thank
quick,
you.
before I let you go, and I know obviously, like you said, you're leaving tomorrow. Got to get sleep. Got to make sure everything's all packed. I could tell in the corner. It looks like trying to pack everything together.
Yeah, I'm sorry. My room is a mess right now. I've got my bag, my school bag, my other bag. I've got my big travel bag. It's everywhere.
I see the
And then I
back
have the
though.
itinerary out for the next few days. So
That's okay. And you know what? I see. What was that a blue bat behind you too in the
yeah,
corner?
we just got our bats and our gloves.
Ooh,
So
ooh. Do
yeah,
you want to show that off a little bit, or
sure. So
why
our
not?
bat is we're sponsored by Rawlings now. So we got it's the Mantra. Very nice bat. We love it. And it's blue, so it goes with our colors.
Not too bad.
And then I'm in my PJs right now, by the way. So if you see it, and then we got to customize our own gloves this year. Very fortunate. We've got the H right there.
I like
I was
that.
able to put my name. I decided to do white and then royal. Inside is all blue with gold because I thought that looked really cool. And then I got my number 20 on the side there. So I'm excited. It's very stiff, but we're getting there. We're getting ready to break it in.
Hey, remember what I told you? Just wrap it, put it under your bed or whatever,
Yeah,
sleep on it for a day or
definitely going to do
two,
that.
and it'll be just fine.
Yeah, I'm ready. We've actually been catching machine balls with our gloves. So we'll set up the pitching machine, have it going really hard, and just stand there and catch it. And it works. So,
That's the best way. Or if there's someone on the baseball team that throws 100, just do that.
yeah.
There's a pitcher who is at Hofstra, and he was on the Bristol Blues. Fiella, Mark Fiella. He's I think a
Okay.
junior or senior now. Very nice kid. He throws about 94, 95. Talk to him. Maybe he can kind of get that glove a little bit
Yeah.
softer, you know. But Gianna, thanks so much for being able to come on. Oh, really quick. For if anybody from the Danbury softball team, because I was actually in contact with the whoever runs the Twitter handle. I said, hey, I was having you on. They were excited. Any words of wisdom that you could pass along to this year's crop of Danbury Hatters?
Yeah. Listen, guys, you guys got it. You're all hard workers. Just put in the work and have fun while you play. I know sometimes it can be frustrating, but the most important thing is to have fun. If you're not doing that, then why play the game? And always be a family. I think even if you lose, team chemistry is the most important thing. So really, really try to create that bond. Do outside activities too with the team. I think that brings you closer. Some of the best memories are made not only on the field but off the field as well. So I think that's very important. And I think if you guys have good communication, you work hard, listen to Coach Erica, you guys are going to do awesome. Best of luck. I miss you guys.
Gianna, that was fantastic. And, best of luck your freshman year. I'll try not to bother you too much, but hey, if I see you go 5 for 5,
Sorry.
I'm going to have to reach out and be like, I knew you would do that. I knew it.
We're going to be on Flow Sports, so tune in.
Oh, even better. That's
Yeah.
perfect. Even better. You
Yeah.
know what? Perfect time for you to get your first hit. Why not?
Yeah. And we actually are doing a Hofstra Invitational here, which is the first time we're doing that. So it's like a 5-game series with a few different teams. So if anyone wants to come out, you should come.
Gianna, thanks so much and best of luck.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on.
No problem. I'll wrap things up here in the Connecticut Sports Talent Show. So until next time, stay safe. Remember, CT stands for Connecticut Talent. I'm our journey to find them all. Enjoy the rest of your day, everybody, and be well.